Hey everyone, this is Elias from Rev Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2026 Hyundai IONIQ 9 calligraphy. Now, let's just say that some people signed off on the right things for this because it is so good. So let's go ahead and get started. We can start in the front, and this thing looks really great. I love this design that we get. The lining design in this by itself is just spectacular. It's a lot of great, cool details to this. So let's get started on the obvious. We do have the cyber gray color. Yes, it is a millennial gray color. And yes, it's been pretty easy to keep clean, except for the front design of this. Yes, with these being kind of EV, they do have to be sleek in the air. So a lot of the things we're gonna get are kind of flat-faced. We had the unfortunate situation that there was a construction truck in front of us. It looked clean, but when it would hit a bump, I guess underneath any like cement or mud, the mud that we have here would come loose, and then this was just a massive magnet to that. So just kind of be aware that it makes itself a big target because of the fact that we have such a flat face here. But getting past that, these light design things are just so cool, and these aren't actually the headlights. So starting at the top, we do have this kind of like their signature squares that we keep seeing with the Hyundai design. I love it. We have like kind of a textured top, and then on the center line we do have like a textured frost to it. So it looks really cool. I love this design. And then we get down to the actual headlights, and they're actually down here. So the top are kind of like the faux headlights, like I like to call them. And then down here we do have the actual lights. And then we have like a grid of little lights here to just give you more visibility at night. It just looks really cool. Love this design. Then we get to kind of the very flat spot in the middle, or the grill, so to speak. And I did notice something when the sun was hitting it, and there is a bunch of little squares in here. So this is kind of a tinted glass or plastic. It just looks pure black when the sun's not hitting it. But now that it is, we uncovered this little set of squares in there, which looks really cool. We have our radar system down here for cruise control, adaptive cruise control, all that stuff. It's been great. No issues with it. Love it. It makes driving so easy with this. We have the front facing camera to help out with the 360-degree system that this has, which is nice. It's good to have something like that, especially when you have a big vehicle like this. And then at the bottom, we do have the active vents in there that go ahead and open up to let some cooling in for the electric motors. So love that we have that. But yeah, this front end looks really great. I love this because again, we have that cool futuristic, almost like cyberpunk kind of feel to it, where it's got like a modern twist but with a retro feel to it. So yeah, love it. So let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood, and yeah, we have a frunk. Now, this frunk came with some things. So we do have some chargers, we have some adapters, because this does have the NACS or NACS or however North American Charging Standard is really what the acronym stands for. I think, I don't know. Bear with me, I'm new to this EV stuff. Anyways, so we do have those chargers, so we get that, and we do have a tire repair kit underneath there as well. If you decide not to go ahead and have this stuff in there and you want to put it in the back, the front isn't too bad to put some items in there, so we do have a good amount of space there. Now, as far as the other things we kind of see here, it's got labels. It's got cool little labels, and we can kind of access some serviceable things. So yeah, it's nice to see that. So we have washer fluid here, we have coolant fluid here, we have AC connection here, and we have, or for AC filling, and then we also have for your brake fluid over there. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have access to these things because a lot of times, especially with these EVs, it's like they don't want you to touch anything. So love the fact that we have that. Oh, and we also have headlight adjustments right in here. Now, as far as powertrain goes, this is a dual motor system. There is also a rear wheel drive model, but with this dual motor system, we're looking at 422 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It is a single speed reduction gear, and again, it's going to all the wheels. Now, a couple of things with this. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I was in eco mode pretty much the whole time. Super smooth delivery. If we need to, we can give it some go and it will go. But it's not as sickening as other EVs are. But then you look at the 0 to 60 numbers and you'll see later on, I was surprised. I was surprised at how well this thing did, because it didn't feel that way the whole week that I've had this. So love it for the drivability. That one pedal driving in the iDrive Max has been awesome. Super easy to do, super easy to modulate. Really no complaints about this system. Now, as far as charging, yeah, so from they say from 10% to 100%. On a level 2, which is what my charger is set to, they state that it would take about 9 hours and 40 minutes. And that is for a 311 mile range in this. So yeah, I did kind of feel it was taking a little bit longer than the usual charging, but it is a big vehicle. We do have, you know, a good amount of range as well. For 300 on an SUV like this, it's pretty good. I didn't mind it, again, because I would just be driving all day and not be worried because we have so much range. And then at night, just go ahead and plug it in and do its thing. But other than that though, I think it's great. I think it's a great powertrain. Like I said, it was super smooth delivery. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package and we have a nice 21-inch wheel, and it is wrapped in the 285/45 Hankook Ion Evo AS SUV. Now, a couple of things with this. So yes, we do get an EV style kind of flat-faced design, but I love the design elements that we get inside. So we do get kind of this machined outside or outer part of the wheel, and then the inserts are nicely painted in black to give you that more of a depth look to it. But again, we still have these sleek kind of EV flat face styled wheels. So love the way that looks. And yeah, the twist is kind of cool to that. The tires, no complaints. I mean, it's been quiet ride. It's been comfortable. We don't feel like we are on a bubble like we do with other tires, especially when we're dealing with 6,000 pounds to kind of move around, so to speak. And yeah, so love the fact that we don't have that feeling, which I've felt in lighter EVs, but because it's an EV style tire, they've been kind of bad. Not in this case. This case has been really great. Love the grip. No complaints about it. Road noise is non-existent, and like I said, the feel to it is great. The suspension has also been awesome with responsiveness to the bumps on the road. No issues there at all as well. Smooth, comfortable ride. Brakes have been awesome. It really, yeah, they've been able to get this big guy stopped. Obviously, we have the regenerative of the electric motors helping out with stopping power. But yeah, I don't have any complaints about this. It really has been a great setup. So let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this thing is big. Yes, it kind of looks like a minivan, but I think it looks cooler than a minivan. So let's take a look at some of those design cues. Now, with this being the calligraphy, the over fender covers are going to be in the body color, which I think it looks good. Thankfully, we have some lines in black that will go ahead and break up that really cyber gray, millennial gray, like I like to call it. But we have that. And the 21-inch wheels, I think, are a good size to this. Yes, we do have a big SUV, so the fact that we have these big wheels really kind of fits with that perspective. Now we go ahead and we take a look at the front fender. I love the front fender in this because it has kind of a carved out, almost like a sculpted, like if you got a, I don't know what the tool is, but just kind of sculpted it out to create this cool channel that we get and give you the definition of a fender there. And then we also have that line that just kind of follows all throughout from the front all the way to the back, and then creates kind of this hip in the back, which looks really, really nice on there. Now we do get the black framing at the top, and we get the chrome trim at the bottom. The mirrors are the body color, as well as having the camera system underneath there for the 360-degree system. And yeah, we do get the roof rails up there, which are long. They are really long, so you could probably fit a lot of stuff up there. But yeah, that's kind of what we get with the side. Now, I don't have the key fob with me because, yeah, it's got a lot of cool things to it. So let me go ahead and grab it. Now, with the key fob in my pocket, I will go ahead and walk close to it, and it's gonna go ahead and unlock. And yes, we do have the door handles, which are hidden in the vehicle. And obviously when you get close to it to unlock, or if you unlock it yourself, they're gonna go ahead and pop out. Just a matter of grabbing here and pulling, and you're good. Super easy to get into as well. So we do have a nice little ride height, big doors, no issues with that. We can go ahead and close this off. And then we do have a little square, not a little slit like we do with other ones. So we do have the square that we can go ahead and use to lock that up, and we're set there. Now, unfortunately, we don't have a little square to kind of activate the rear, but if you have the key and it's going to use the proximity, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But we have that, and we're able to go ahead and open it up in the back. Again, really big doors, really easy to get into there. We go ahead and do that. Now, again, we don't have a way of locking it back here, so we are going to need to do this to go ahead and get that locked. So that's kind of what we get on the side. But of course, because we have a Hyundai, we're gonna go ahead and use the Smart Park, which has been great with this vehicle because, yeah, again, Texas-sized parking spots are not Texas-sized. They're not as big as everyone thinks, especially with these big vehicles. It's kind of tough to park them in spots, so it makes things easy for us to go ahead and then just do that with the remote. Yes, there's no one in the car, so we go ahead and we're able to just move it out of the parking spot with just the key fob with the Smart Park, and now we can all hop in without dinging any doors. So let's go ahead and see what we have back here. We get to the back, and besides the front, this rear is probably my next favorite thing about this IONIQ 9. It's just different. It has a different design. It's got a lot of cool little elements to it. So let's go ahead and break them down. First, let's talk about these lights. So yeah, we have a lot of little square lights on here. Now the breakdown is at the top. We have it's not really a spoiler, it just kind of sticks out because the glass goes in. But up here we have the third brake light, and then we have this nice big flat-ish rear glass. So it still kind of has a bulbing sense to it, but it's fairly flat on here. But love the way that this looks. We do have a windshield wiper up here to clean up the area, and even though visibility wasn't a problem, we still also have the option for the rear view camera system, which has been awesome. It's been on the whole time. That's what I've been using instead of using the more traditional literal reflective of the mirror itself. Then we have the IONIQ badge in here, which I love that it's kind of pressed in on there. We get the H-Track badging on the side there, and then we have the rear view camera system for the full 360 system. Now it's been kind of tricky with this because I keep thinking that there's this button there or this button here or this underneath, but to open it up it's actually here, or obviously if I had my key with me, I have it over there, I would have been able to go ahead and just get closer and open up, which you'll see. But overall though, I love this design. It just looks really cool. It's different. It has a lot of cool intricacies to it. So let's go ahead and see what we have in here. We take a look at the back, and we can go ahead and open this up in multiple ways. We have the key fob that we can do. We can also, if I didn't just, actually, it's going to do it. So if you just stand behind with the key fob, it will automatically open like it's opening up there. And then when we do so, we have this, a pretty good amount of space. I was actually pretty impressed at how good this is with having these 3 rows. And yes, there isn't super amount, but to get this amount with my massive bag, to be able to do that, it's not possible in other bigger 3-row SUVs. So love the fact that we have that. And also when we go ahead and just kind of move things over, down here, we are going to have a little bit of storage. So it's not too much, but we do get some storage down there. And obviously we have the harder plastic area here, and we have the plugs for power right in there. Also on the left hand side, we are going to get another plug for power. Lighting is nice, little touch to it there. But if you're not going to be needing all the seats, that's when we can use the power seats to bring them down. So we do have 3rd row on the right and 2nd row on the left, which is kind of smart, because this literally looks like that, 2nd row and then 3rd row in the back. So we will go ahead and bring down that and this, and now you can see they are going down. Headrests go down automatically as well, which is definitely nice because you don't always get that. So that went down, and now we have significantly more space back here. So you can see it's essentially another bag that I can put right in there. Now 3rd row does get their own cup holders. They do get their option to move the seat back and forth to lean it on there, and they get their USB-C connection right in there. So if we are needing even more because you decided to go to IKEA and get a really long item, we can go ahead and just put the 2nd row down. Now I won't put down that one because actually my kid's seat isn't here, so I can go ahead and do that. And this is a big open area. Yeah, if you decide to make a Home Depot run, I wouldn't be surprised if you could fit a sheet of plywood in here. I don't know about this width, I'd have to measure it, but we do have a large amount of space in here for, you know, whatever you're needing to carry. So love the fact that we get that. So we'll go ahead and put all of them up. And yeah, everything is up, and that's what we get in the back. We take a look at the door, and there's some great things about this. Now, this is the dark green interior, and you really don't see it unless the light is hitting it, but it looks good. I like the color that we get with this. And yeah, this is the lighter option, so we do have the really nice white on this. It's very classic looking. I love, but it's got its kind of retro feel with the little sparkling that we get there with the basically the texture it has. And then we have the nice brushed aluminum door handles and controls that we get there. We do have the option for 2 memory seats, and we get massage seats. Yes, so kind of let the cat out of the bag with that, which we'll take a look at soon. Then we get the controls for the windows and the locks and the mirrors. So love the fact that we do have the child lock option here, which is good because that way you don't have to go running to the door and you know, set it up. You can just always have control over it there. And then we come down here where we have a little bit of storage, not too much. We have area for a water bottle right in there, and then we have the Bose system. Now this does look nice. I like the way that we have kind of this design to it. Again, it has this kind of retro but modern feel to it. And it sounds great. The Bose system sounds unbelievable in this, and that's coming from someone that is not a big Bose fan, so definitely a big praise. But yeah, that's kind of what we get with the door, and it looks really nice. We take a look at the seats, and these things are incredible. We get that dark green at the top, and then we get the white color at the bottom. They just look really nice. And adjustability, yeah, it's there. We'll get to that, don't worry. But let's start at the top. So at the top we have this super soft headrest there, which I always joke around, but it feels like angels are just supporting the weight of my head, which I love the fact that, you know, we have that nice feeling there. And then we get this cool design here. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for me to capture the true green color because it kind of goes off towards a gray color more than anything. But we do have the nice design here in the middle for the seats, and they are vented, they are heated as well. Love it. I love the duality that we kind of get with both kind of parts to it. And then down here is just super wide, super comfortable. We can adjust this incredibly. We have the massaging options as well, which is nice to have, you know, especially when you're wanting to go on long road trips or after a day of, you know, working hard and you're stuck in stop and go traffic. Now, adjustability, yes. And this has been my favorite. That has been incredible at just being able to put that there. So it basically supports the back of your legs, and one pedal driving has been a breeze in this. So yeah, we can see all the different adjustabilities that we have, and we even have the option to go ahead and have this rest. So actually the back seat was moving first. I was like, why isn't this moving? But yeah, we can have it essentially lean back so that when you are charging at a public charging station, you can relax. Or if you go out on your lunch break and you don't want to go back in yet, you can go ahead and have a quick little nap. Just make sure you set your alarm. But yeah, we now have this option there as well, and love these things. They are really, really incredible seats. We take a look at the steering wheel, and this thing is awesome. I love the look to it. I love the feel of it. So started on the materials, we have this nice finish here, super soft all around. We get that green, that dark green color, and then the white on the inside, which looks really good. Love it. And then in the middle, we do get the 4 little lights there, which I learned that actually means H in Morse code. So yeah, we have that. Now, the cool thing about it is that right now we are in park, but if we go in reverse, they go red. It looks really cool. It kind of scares me a little bit because it looks like a robot that's like, I am a friendly robot. And then it's like, I have turned evil. Because it just has that cool kind of droid look to it. So love the fact that we have that design. And then on the left hand side, we have our controls for our cruise control and our gauge cluster. And then on the right hand side, we have our controls for our infotainment system. But yeah, love the fact that we have this wheel. Oh, and on the side, on the back here, we do have the regenerative braking level that you may want to put it in. Right now, it's probably not on the one that I had it at. So I had it at iPedal Max driving because I feel like that is the best one personally. And that's just because I'm getting more used to these one pedal drive cars. But if you want to start, you know, start low, and then you'll see that you'll start to go up and up and up till you're happy with it. But yeah, that's kind of what we get with the steering wheel. We take a look at the gauge cluster, and it's pretty nice. It's an all digital display, and we do have these kind of 2 gauges and the center option in there. Now, if we want to just kind of go through some of the things, so I like this, the range guide, because if I decide for some reason to go full on, just pedal to the metal, the range would be minimum of 214. And if I decide to be able to be super efficient and coast, I'd be able to do 346. But the kind of average or the more realistic value is the 288. And that realistic value has been really accurate. So I love the fact that we have that option. Obviously, we have our tire pressure, power distribution there, and then our trip information that we get with that. So yeah, love that. And then obviously we have things like the compass, and then our safety, you know, based on the cruise control, the adaptive system there. But yeah, that's what we get with that. Now on the sides, we do get the, you know, when we switch over to the different drive modes, they do kind of change in look. So yeah, the Sport is really nice. Ooh, the seats actually just hugged me a little bit more on that. And then we have the My Drive, which we can customize. Now, I've been loving this option where when I press down on the button, we get the terrain. So we now have the snow, mud, and then the sand. And whoa, I just realized this. So if we go to sand, or actually mud right there, it's kind of a brown color that it goes, snow, and then sand. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, it's one of those things that you don't really, yeah, Eco goes green, then normal goes white, Sport goes red, and then the purple one is the My Drive that you customize. So yeah, kind of cool. And like I said, loving it. No complaints about it. We have our information down there as well, as far as the drive mode that you're in, the auto hold, the temperature, and then obviously we have our range information, our mileage right there at the bottom right. We take a look at the infotainment screen, and this thing is nice. It's big, it's clear, it is out of the way. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Hyundai, for not putting a big screen in front. But again, yeah, we do get a good amount of visibility anyway, so it's not too bad. Oh yeah, and we have our rear view camera system right in there, which is really awesome. Yeah, sorry. Back to this though. It's awesome. Wireless Apple CarPlay, no issues with it. It has been great to play my tunes from my phone wirelessly. That Bose system, incredible. Again, no complaints about it. It just works really, really well. Now, off to the side, we have some really cool things. So this trim looks like snakeskin. It really did. I told my wife, I'm like, this kind of looks like snakeskin, and it looks really cool. I kind of like it. It's got that retro feel to it as well, because you don't see too many snakeskin kind of patterns in vehicles, but love the fact that we have that there. But then we come back down a little bit, and this thing is awesome. I love the fact that we have some buttons. We still have some physical buttons for things like navigating menu, going from one to the next option, and then we also have our next track kind of situation on here as a button. And obviously we can program the little star there, which is one of my favorite things, but love to see this. And then we get this. Yeah, this was kind of a man, why couldn't we just continue with buttons on here? And that's because so it's easy to see here, but if I had the sunroof open, it's going to be tough to kind of read this. And then the other thing is the accuracy of me being able to press a button while I'm driving. I love these because I can tactfully find out where they are and just press it, and I'm able to go ahead and activate that. Same thing with this. I wish we had some actual buttons because I'm constantly trying to turn on the cooled or the venting for the seats, and I'm having to constantly miss or just kind of do one of these where I'm like, okay, let me like slide into it kind of thing for that. But yeah, that's kind of what we get with the climate system. We come a little bit lower, and things are getting a little tight, but don't worry, because I can push this. And yes, I can move this center console back. Yeah, we'll get to this soon, but that was awesome. Love it. And we have our connections for our USB-C, and these options here are 100-watt max, which is awesome. This is one of the things I've been loving in newer Hyundai vehicles, because sometimes you need to charge a laptop, and sometimes, you know, your standard 5-watt USB is not enough, or your 10-watt USB is not enough. So the fact that we get the 100 is really, really nice. And then we get over here and we have a little cubby area there, and we come a little bit lower and we have more storage down here. My kind of gripe with this is, why didn't we just make one big area? So one big area, because that would have been great for like my wife to put her smaller purse in there, or just to put smaller things in here. But we're now limiting that space to that smaller height. So yeah, just kind of a shame that we have that. I would have personally liked a little bit more storage there as a whole big opening. But we come back a little bit and we have, yes, the center console, which, like I said, we're able to go ahead and move forward and move it back. And guess what? We have different levels too. So that's awesome. So not only do we have the option to really slam it forward and really slam it back, but now I can just find that sweet spot for myself, which I think, yeah, I feel like that's comfortable there. So love the fact that we have that spot there. Perfect. And we come over here, and this is where we have some of the controls for the vehicle. So we have the auto hold on there. We have our drive modes we were looking at. We have the camera system here, which will look soon, and then the alerts for the parking and the hill descent. Oh yeah, and like I said, when you push down, that's when we get the terrain options as opposed to the drive. And then when we press the camera system, we get this, a super clear camera system. They always deliver the great camera systems with tons and tons of flexibility. Yeah, we have the tires there. We have the wider view to it. And same thing goes for the back. We have the option for the rear tires on there. So these are like off-roading style camera systems. And the fact that we get it in a more civilized vehicle is nice, especially when we have a bigger vehicle that we're trying to make sure we park in the correct spot and in the correct dimensions. But love it. This is one of my favorite systems because it's just so simple to use and so clear, and yeah, just tons and tons of options. We come over to the cup holders, and these have been great. They are big enough for a big cup, but small enough to hold these water bottles with those little supports on the side. So love it. And it's really deep, so it really gives you more stability with things like smaller water bottles like that. But yeah, love these. Then we come over to a wireless charger, and thank you Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis, because you guys have been smart about it. What I mean by that is wireless chargers are flat. Not this one though, because it has that elevated kind of pad, and you can see our phones are not flat because they have those camera systems that stick out. So the fact that we have that elevated, when we go ahead and put our phones in, and I'll do a light chuck this time, we're able to go ahead and have better contact to it. And I know it's charging, even though the screen's not on. I know it's charging because we get that light. Yes, thank you. And it's really visible, easy to kind of know that things are going on with the charging. But yeah, and it's been charging. It hasn't just been holding it, it's been going up and up. So love this wireless charger. Then we get to the armrest, and yeah, it's comfortable. And again, if you want to have more of your arm, you can just pull the whole system forward and you have that. Now, this is the only thing that it has been a little kind of clunky. The armrest to provide that hinge of just kind of being like that, but even though your weight is going to bring it down, it's kind of difficult. It has too much tension in it. So I wish we were just able to just kind of lift it up and it'll stay there. But yeah, we have a little bit of space here. Not too bad. Love that. I wish we had a USB-C connection in here for power, but unfortunately we don't. But not to worry, you can always run the cable through there and then close this off. And that's what we get in the front. We get to the back door, and I actually think the back door is better than the front. And there's a couple of things why. So obviously we can't do this in the front seat, because in the front door, because of legal reasons. But we do have the peasant blockers, and the hooks are in the front. So pretty easy to go ahead and set that up. And yeah, you could see the difference between the sun there and there, so it really softens things up. So love the fact that we have that. And then yeah, the door itself just has a really great design to it. Again, we kind of get these retro feels with a modern twist to them. I like it because the back doors more, because we do get 2 cup holders. So yeah, they're not the biggest, but they're additional cup holders. And then this is a water bottle holder. So yeah, there's a difference. You don't want to put a cup in here because it's going to have to be at an angle. And then we get the Bose system there. But yeah, this is really nice. I love the design that we get in the back door. We get to the back seats, and these things are incredible. So this being a 3-row, we do get captain seats in the middle, but they are really nice and comfortable. They are big, they're wide. So if you want the comfort, or you know, for child seats, sometimes these things aren't as, you know, the child seats are really wide. So this helps with making sure that they're nice and stable and placed on there. And we do have the anchor points down there, which are super easy to get to. Love the green on this that we get with the white bottom, and this super comfortable. So they have their own luxuries. We also have the option for the armrest here, which they can kind of program in the spot that they want. Love the fact that we got that. And then we have their adjustability here, which is really nice. And they're also going to get heated and venting in the rear with their own climate system there available as well. So yeah, the fact that we have this in the back is really, really nice. And then down here, we're going to have some storage, which, yes, perfect for the tissue paper back here. So tissue box does fit, and then we can go ahead and close that off. But yeah, this is awesome. Now, if we want to get to the third row, we can go ahead and just press that button there, and it is going to move forward. And now we have access to that third row, which again, it's pretty comfortable. They're going to get the same items that we had, you know, the same design. And then again, we can recline the back seat if we want. Yeah, really, it's a great package. Now, yeah, just kind of be aware, it's not super amount of legroom space, but you could definitely move these forward because there is a lot of space. Yeah, that would be significantly better. And you still have a lot of space in the second row. They do get their USB-C connections right in there in front. So yeah, it's mind-blowing how good the layout is of this Hyundai. So love the fact that we got that in here. We take the IONIQ 9 for a drive, and this thing is really nice. I have had such a great week with this vehicle because it's put me at ease. It's relaxed me while I've been driving. What's the formula for that? Yeah, you have a great comfortable positioning on your seat, which is what's possible with the IONIQ 9. You get the heated option, you get the cooled option, which in this case, because we're still in false fall here in Texas, we're venting right now. So my back is nice and cool, and it's also being massaged. Yeah, and then pair that with a great quality ride, a super quiet cabin, because yeah, you guys are, yeah, this is what you get when you have an electric vehicle. And you don't, yes, I know everything else is super amplified because now we don't hear the engine that is maybe drowning out other little frequencies and things like that. But Hyundai has gone beyond that and has made sure that the cabin is really quiet, especially if you're taking this out on a road trip and you have kids, especially infants, that once you get them to sleep, it's like, yes, please stay asleep, guys, please don't make any noise. So you have such a quiet ride in this, and it's super easy to drive as well with that one pedal driving. You know, you also have a great feeling steering wheel, nice and soft. Everything, all the tech is readily available. Just storage, tons and tons of storage options. It's just such a great package, and it feels nice and big, but not overly huge that you're, you know, feel like you're driving a truck, because you're not. This is really, really nice drive. Now we're getting to my favorite part of my drive, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it in sport mode, and we're still gonna have the iPedal set to the max, and let's see what this thing can do. So okay, so we still have a good amount of torque, even though it is, yeah, it is a big vehicle to kind of move around. We'll take it a little easy on this first turn, just because I haven't really been pushing it, because I've just been relaxing in this. So I haven't seen its kind of performance to this. And yeah, you're not you're probably not going to be pushing it as much as I am. But if you need to get the kids to soccer practice really, really fast, this has some power to do so. And yeah, so the brakes, again, I'm giving myself a good amount of distance, but in everyday scenarios, it felt really well. And it's feeling good here too. It's getting this big guy really stopped. What I love about this, so there's a lot that I love about this I like this test because we get to feel the tires and know what it's doing, the suspension and how they work together. And they're doing a great job of not making this feel like a heavy vehicle that is all over the place. Does it feel heavy? Yes. Does it feel put together? Yes, it really does. It really does feel solid in that whatever you're giving the inputs to, it will go ahead and respond to that. Granted, you do have to respect it and respect physics and know that you're not going to be taking a turn as fast in this as you would say a Miata. Granted, you're probably going to be going faster in this than you are in a Miata. Yes, I can say that because I own a Miata. But yeah, it's really nice. I love the feel that we get, the feedback that we get with this. So, you know, the ever important 3-point stop. So we'll cheat a little bit and we will go ahead and turn and see if we can get this in 3 turns. Now, my wife has said that she's been struggling with this a little bit all week because it is a longer vehicle. So it's kind of a little tougher to kind of put in a parking spot and make sure that you're fully in. So yeah, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of this, but yeah, we can get this turned. It is going to take a couple of times, but we got it. Now we've gone ahead and we've set up our race box. Is our 0 to 30, 0 to 60 telemetry box, and it's also a drag timer and a lap timer. Great little all-in-one package, and a great company to work with. So I'll be going ahead and adding a link in my description for a possible little discount. We've gone ahead and we put it in sport mode. It doesn't really matter. Oh, it doesn't really matter about brake boosting it because it just doesn't do anything for it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have the auto hold active, and we're just gonna give it. Okay, so yeah, this thing is deceivingly fast. Let's talk numbers. We're dealing with a 0 to 30 in 1.77 seconds and a 0 to 60 in 4.55 seconds. I told you, this is pretty deceivingly fast. So yeah, just be aware that if you are giving it some gas, yeah, some throttle input, it is going to go. And again, it just be careful because it is a big vehicle. But oh man, that all-wheel drive was just great at just distributing the power the moment that it sensed a little bit of slip on one, and it just put it on the other. Are you going to be driving this thing like this? No, but you know what? It's good to know that you have this performance and you have it whenever you want. And that's what I like about these big EVs, and is that they really surprise you, because a lot of them are not just great performance in acceleration, but also braking and turning, because you get that great usage of the distribution of the weight via the battery system. But the best thing about this is this. Put it in eco mode and you're just driving. You're just driving, you're just going on about your day, picking up the kids, going to work, picking up groceries, going to have some fun. And it does a great job at doing that. Going on road trips, that's the biggest thing with this, is being able to go on a road trip and just being comfortable as a driver, as one that always has to drive, because my wife likes to drive, but I'm always a dad. I'm still a dad, and it's like, okay, I need to make sure we're all safe, and so I barely get any rest. But the fact that I can get in this and be rested and relaxed for longer drives, and yeah, have energy for other things. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Hyundai IONIQ 9. And remember, find the right gear, even if it's EV. See ya.